All right, here we go. We're going to play Virginia. Bronco Mendenhall's team. I've known Bronco for a good while. Met him a few times on a couple trips the coaches take for the school, the shoe companies that they work with. But got to know him on a personal level and really think he's an awesome guy, and I know he's a great coach. They're bowl eligible for the first time since 2011, so 6 wins, I think 6-4 at this point. I'll start with their defense. Number 3, Blanding, has been around a while. He's started, this will be his 47th game, and he's set a school record for tackles, 454 tackles, and very, very impressive. Kaiser, number 53, is their leading tackler. This is 35th start. He's number 1 in the ACC with 106 tackles. I think he's top 10 in America in tackles. Last year, he's the one that had that unbelievable interception on the first play of the game, or our first offensive play of the game, and he had 13 tackles in that game. Very impressive. Player Thornhill, number 21, has got a couple picks, their corner. The defense altogether has 12 interceptions, so they've been doing a great job of that. Number 28, kid that grew up in Miami, actually has got 4 interceptions and leads the team in that area, former walk-on. And then number 9, Brown, one of their front 4, 6'4", 285. He's got 34 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. So their defense is 36th in America in total defense, which is pretty impressive stat this time of the year. Offensively, Ben Kirk, number 6, their quarterback, 21st start. He's had 42 touchdown passes already. He's had 14 games of over 200 yards or more. He's a really tough kid. I just had this vision of him a year ago. We had some kind of blitz on, and somebody was coming free. It might not have been a blitz, but somebody was coming free about to hit him, and he stood right in there and threw a touchdown pass, knowing he was about to get hit. Just my kind of guy in that regard. Number 1, Ellis, their running back, 766 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. He's got 13 catches. Very versatile player. Number 4, Zacchaeus, 70 catches, 4 touchdowns, and then they've actually handed the ball to him 22 times for over 150 yards. So very versatile player as well. Leveroni, number 14, has got 27 catches, and he's averaging 21 yards per catch. And then their tight end, Evan Butts, has got another 25 catches, number 46. Offensive line, they actually had, 6 different combinations in the last game alone. So they're kind of mixing and matching right now, and it may be just a product of having a lot of faith in a lot of guys right now, but they're kind of moving those guys around a little bit. And then they do have a great return man. Has actually returned one for a touchdown. Reed, number 2, he's averaging 28 yards per kick return. So, it's a big day for us for a lot of reasons. It's the last home game. It's the last home game of our seniors. It's, everybody calls it Senior Day, and we want to honor them with a little bit of a ceremony before the opening kick, and then hopefully we'll honor them the way we coach. And the way we play, the teammates hopefully will play for them in such a way that it'll bless them. So, I've got 4 guys that will represent as captains, and but every single senior will have a C on his jersey. As a matter of fact, I think I have my captains here. Okay, offense, Casey McDermott. Defense, Chad Thomas and Trent Harris, and then Barrios for special teams will represent at the coin toss. But all seniors that are eligible to dress will be considered captains, and again, they'll have the C on their jerseys. So with that, I'll open it up and see what you guys want to ask.
Hey, Mark, talk a little bit about your approach on offense this year. I mean, you've won games with bubble screens. I guess against Syracuse, you went empty backfield.
Right.
You looked at the Wildcat the other night.
Yeah.
And, you're just doing a lot of different things, I assume, based on what the defenses do.
Part of it is that. When Mark got hurt, we knew the running game might need to be supplemented by doing some other things, whether it's the wildcat or whether it's more QB draw or whether it's more spread sets and try to throw and catch the ball well. You know, a lot of it's just what we thought. We were trying to get our personnel that we have and maximize it. And even early on when we're using DJ Dallas, if you're in an empty set, he didn't have anybody to block. You know, we're not asking him to block anybody. And a lot of the protections we've used early on with him were just free release, where he has no responsibility to block anybody. And so that was part of it too. But you know, he's grown as a back. He's able to do more of the traditional things that we've done. And you know, this past game, you know, fortunately, we were able to run the ball well when we needed to. You're up 27-0 at the half, and you want to chew clock. You want to give them less opportunities to score. And I think it was our last 24 calls, the last 24 plays I called were all running plays. A couple of them had the bubble pass tied into it, so we threw one or two of those. But we actually called a running play 24 times in a row. That might be a record for me. But you just try to do what you got to do to win the game.
Is part of it just into knowing your personnel more? Not the using true freshmen, but the guys.
Sure.
Now you know.
Yeah, it's part of it. I mean, Malik's a good passer, and he's an agile runner. He's not unbelievable runner, but he's made some nice runs. He's a threat to run. They have to account for him, which makes it a little bit tougher for them. And yeah, I mean, you saw me run a lot of QB draws, and if they're in coverage and he could get 4, 5, 6 yards, that's a pretty good gain down there in the red zone. But you know, there's some options built in to throw the ball as well. So he's sharp enough to handle it, and he's a good enough athlete to run, and he's been durable, you know, thankfully, to be able to run him a little bit.
Mark, we know in the past you've said, handle each game as they come, and then the rankings will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Is there not just a little bit of curiosity when the rankings come out tonight?
Well, I mean, somebody's gonna tell me. I doubt I watch the show, but you know, I will know what it is. I mean, I would have to say that we moved up, you know, like I figured we would if we won. So, but you know, I mean, no matter where we are, if we keep winning, we'll stay up, maybe move up, or if we lose, we'll go down. And there's at least we got at least 3 more games, I guess, before everything's decided. So we got a long way to go yet.
You coach them to be the same guys every day. You guys try to set that example.
Yeah.
Does it become a little bit different when everybody's showing you love from the outside?
I asked them, can you handle any prosperity? I mean, last week, just to clarify everything, I think you might have asked the question about the players feeling like they were disrespected. All I did was take the video of the television copy of people making predictions. Most everybody predicted Notre Dame, and then some of them said why they predict Notre Dame. And some of the whys got their blood pumping, you know. I mean, when I saw it, I'm like, I think I'm going to show the guys this. Just collect them all and show them a copy of it. And you know, I think guys play better ball when they're a little bit mad, you know. It's a tough game. It's a physical game. And sometimes you need something to get you just a little bit, get your blood pumping. And so that's what we did. Now, you know, if I did a video of it, what's going on now, it'd be everybody saying that, gosh, Miami's not so bad after all, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, so can they handle that? You know, I'm not going to be showing videos of that, I can promise you.
What do you think the answer is to that question? Can they handle that?
I don't know. You know, we're not babying them in practice. Here's what I think. I think every time you look at the film of an opponent, it just immediately gets you back grounded to knowing we got our work cut out for us. And so we watch film, we're like, these guys are pretty dang good. You know, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? And so there's a lot of strategy involved and a lot of just preparation. And you know, this morning's practice, pretty stinking hot. You know, tomorrow's practice probably gonna be pretty hot. Game day is gonna be pretty hot at a noon game. I mean, even just battling through the weather on a Tuesday, Wednesday practice schedule is tough. So that usually gets everybody grounded pretty good.
While we're clarifying, did you all see the video of the Notre Dame defensive coordinator giving his pregame speech.
Not before the game. Not before the game.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's typical stuff. That's what coaches do to get their boys fired up. If everything was videoed of everything we ever said to our guys before a game, I mean, that's very typical. It wasn't like a shocking thing to see.
Mark, just to get back to DJ for a second, you knew obviously he had talent coming in, but what he's been able to do, switching from receiver to running back, the learning curve, how tough can that process be for a kid, regardless of whether he's a freshman?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Coach Brown and I were like, should we do it? Should we not? Should we do it? Should we not? I'm talking about moving him, even back in the spring, or maybe moving him at least in summer, because summertime we can meet with the kids and start teaching them, and in camp, and we just like, maybe we'll be okay. And then, sure enough, the worst thing happened, Mark getting hurt, and then the depth got short, and we had to move him, and then all of a sudden here he is, a little bit unfairly trying to learn that position in two ways, because number one, if he was going to be a running back, he probably would have been 10 pounds heavier. Because he's a receiver, he was cutting weight, trying to get more quickness and all that kind of thing. So he's cutting weight as a receiver, and then all of a sudden he becomes a running back again. And you can't just put that muscle back on that fast. Usually, if you get bigger, it's usually not good weight. So he's done a really good job though, and Coach Brown, really good teacher.
Mark, you've been at this for a long time, and you've played in plenty of big games, or have been in plenty of big games as a coach. But after that game, Saturday night, was there a phone call or anybody who reached out to you who you're like, that's pretty cool?
Oh, I mean, all said, I probably had 150 to 200 text messages, just from guys I coached or coached with, or family members, or just people, within our program. I mean, it ran the gamut of that, but I appreciate that, and it was a game. Obviously, everybody in the college football world was watching, and you can't ask for a better result in a big moment for our crowd, a big moment for our players, a big moment for the program in general, for our football alumni. I mean, you don't think those guys were fired up? The ones that were there and the ones that weren't there. I mean, you see guys, and at the I guess it was Sunday, seeing some of the pregame speeches they were giving on the internet. It was pretty fun to see.
On that same note, players, texting current players now, do you ever get a former coach like a Schnellenberger or Jimmy Johnson reach out?
I've got a couple reach outs from some former coaches. I won't say who, but former head coaches here.
Mark,
Yeah.
Chris Herndon was named a semifinalist for the
Right.
Mackey Award today.
Yeah, I think there was down to 8, so he's a semifinalist for the Mackey, which is great. He also got the invite to the Senior Bowl, which was a big deal, and I'm proud of him. I've always thought he's a great player, and I think he's going to be a really good pro one day, and he's done extremely well for us this year.
Any other seniors you know of at this point? Senior
I'm
Bowl?
sorry?
Any other seniors you know at this point?
Senior Bowl, not yet. They have some early invitees, and then as time goes on, they get more. There's a couple guys in the NFLPA. I think it's called the Collegiate Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. We've got a couple guys invited to that.
Mark, yesterday you had a couple of your guys went out delivering turkeys, led by
Yeah.
Demetrius. To see them, I mean, he's hobbling around on crutches, and then he's
Right.
handing out turkeys. Just to see that they took
Yeah.
part in that, and his teammates went with him. I know that that's important.
You know what? I think there was a spirit of that before I came, and then we just got maybe a little bit more organized and setting up opportunities for the guys to do those types of community service projects. D-Jack's always done it in his community. He's always done that. So it wasn't like we encouraged him and all of a sudden he got philanthropic. But once the guys begin to do those types of things, when you help somebody that normally can't help you back, it does something to your spirit, and it just helps them be well-rounded people. And I like to brag that we were, the #1 FBS school in America in number of community service hours last off season, and they took a lot of pride in that.
ESPN was showing at the end of the game, you know, you had kind of just a little, you know, moment with John. And I know it's something you guys do every day, but just how special is it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, John is awesome. He's a fun guy to work with, and he's really a good coach. And it's good to have somebody that knows you well enough to say, "Hey, Dad," or he calls me Pops. "Hey, Pops, you know, we should do this or we should do that," or why, you know, we're like an assistant coach who's not your son. Might not feel as free to just say, just to question you, you know what I mean? So he keeps me straight, and I'm sure the other coaches are like, "Hey, John, say this to your dad." You know, after the game, it was nice to have him on the sideline and be able to celebrate with him.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah, Mark?
Yes.
Virginia over the years isn't in the top 10 very often, but they've been a nemesis to like Miami and Florida State. What makes them like
Well, I remember, you know, way back when I was at Florida State in the league, and Virginia was just always had these really great-looking body types, very tough guys, hard-nosed players. I know when Coach Groh had them, they were really good, and I think that you know, historically, they're a team that could physically line up with anybody and get after you. So it's not shocking. You know, I didn't pay a lot of attention the 15 years I was gone, to be honest with you. But I know Miami's record might be 4-5 or 5-4 or something like that. It's really a close battle.
Mark, I wanted to ask you about you encourage the fans a lot, and you've been very appreciative of the fans.
Yeah.
And noon games are not always,
Right.
you know.
I've heard what, there's just maybe 1,000 tickets left or something like that. I mean, it's pretty spectacular for a noon game and for a you know, a game that you know, we've already won the Coastal and all that kind of thing. And the other thing too is because the next week is going to be Thanksgiving week and the students are off all week, you know, I'm hoping as many, you know, any students that are in town, you know, will be there, and maybe a lot of them, you know, held onto their flights till after the game, I hope. But you know, I'd understand if on, you know, Friday they got their engines running and getting out of here. But I hope a good bit of them will show up for that as well.
My mom and uncle are going to be attending their first Hurricanes game. What are they going to see?
this weekend?
What can they expect? Yeah.
Hopefully everybody getting after it. I mean, if it's anything like today, it's going to be warm and humid. And I mean, it was a tough day to battle through practice today. So I can't imagine them not being affected to a certain degree.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank you.